Hiya, I hope you're keeping well. Today I'm doing a kind of Christmas party look with some tips on how to get like a really blended eyeshadow look, tips on how to get your lashes on so easily, no messing about. And it's also a first impressions of R.E.M Beauty, which is Ariana Grande's makeup brand, which just came this morning. I absolutely love her, so I literally cracked open the box and got going, so I hope you enjoy. As always, everything I've used is listed in the description of the video, so if you click to make it full screen, the title will come up along the top, click the arrow next to it and a full list of everything will drop down. Okay, I'm going to start with a little bit of Dr. Jart Ceramidin to prep my skin. This is a really lovely, rich, buttery moisturiser, full of ceramides, really good for this time of year. Francis, you said to me yesterday that you're wearing like ivory and gold for Christmas Day and which kinds of colours would go with it for your makeup. So today's video is for you, Francis. Just to mention with Ceramidin as well, because it's so balmy, it's really lovely under your makeup. If you wear anything in a matte consistency or powders and they feel dry, this is the kind of thing that even though it's a skincare cream can really make your makeup look that bit better. Right then, what I'm going to do, I'm using the original CC cream from It Cosmetics in the shade Light Medium. I'm going to just speed through my kind of everyday staples, so my CC cream, brows, and just get straight into using this Ariana makeup. So I've put my CC cream on and my brow power pencil. Before I move forward actually, I'll just quickly show you. I'm going to apply some Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer around my eyes. And yesterday, Annette, you said to me that when you put your concealer on, you feel like it makes the skin around your eyes look crepey. Caroline, you had asked me about how to wear your makeup in a way that doesn't accentuate fine lines. And one of the things that I'd really recommend that you do, first of all, as you can see, I'm warming this up on the back of my hand before I apply it, so that by the time I go to work it in, it's already a bit softer. And so essentially less product will give you the same colour payoff. So that's a great place to start. But then also, if you watch my videos a lot, you'll know that I always set my base with powder. That's what I always use. For me, that's what works really well. I'm going to put a tiny bit of this concealer just over some of the more red areas, by the way. But as an alternative to powder in it, you might prefer to use a spray, because a setting spray, oh, there's an eyelash there, Make-A-Wish. Oh, it's still there. There we go. A setting spray will lock your makeup in, but it won't give that velvety finish. So hopefully, in theory, that more hydrating way of locking it in will mean that it doesn't look necessarily any more velvety. Setting sprays, there are so many on the market. Use whatever you've already got if you've got one. I draw your attention to the All Nighter spray from Urban Decay. This is pretty much the cult classic. One thing I would say about the Urban Decay setting sprays is that they have a patented temperature control in there to help to, you know, if you're setting your makeup, it's going to reduce the temperature of your skin. Let's say, for example, Emma, you had said to me yesterday that you want some tips for really hot rosacea skin, and I will do that in a separate dedicated video. But something with that temperature control could be really good for you as well. But in terms of you, back to you, Annette, for setting your makeup without making it look more velvety, that's a good option. Okay, to speed things up a bit, I've added a few pops of colour and different bits and pieces. Right then, let's get stuck into the R.E.M Beauty. This is the Babydoll palette. I'm going to start with this soft brown on quite a large blending brush. And first of all, I'm going to take this matte colour through the socket and just kind of create an all over golden wash that I will then expand on with some of the shimmers and deeper colours. Okay, the Miss Mercury highlighter deserves its own moment of conversation, which we'll have in a little minute. But while I'm continuing my eyes, I just want to put some of this in the inner corners. Next, I'm going in with quite a buttery rose golden colour all over the lid. And you know what? Feeling the consistency of that, this is something I've said a few times before. Sometimes you get a denser colour payoff with your finger, and I think this is going to be one of those. Now, what I'd say to you is, if you're wanting to kind of build definition with your eyes, is mix up your use of metallics and mattes. So that so far is a metallic lid. If I take a little bit more of, let's say, the deeper metallic under my lash line, and then perhaps use more of the matte colours in the outer corners, you get this lovely balance of the softness of the shimmers that will look kind of soft and romantic, but with the depth of those matte colours in the outer corners, you can still have a really smoky eye that just kind of has these moments of softness and moments of definition. So that in mind, from here, I'm going to take some of this deeper matte shade to finish those flicks and start to take them back on themselves on this upper lash line. This is also such a lovely thing to do to map out your liner, because powders are so much easier to soften if you make a mistake than if you go straight in with a liquid. Now, with a large clean brush, I'm going to really gently add some of that same deeper shade through the outer parts of the socket here. And what I want you to keep in mind is that the pressure I'm using is really light. This brush is barely touching the eye. And so what it means is you're in control of how quickly the colour builds up. And also, if you're using a soft touch, you're in control of how easily you can blend it out or, you know, pack on the pressure to build the intensity. Okay, from here, we've got two jobs to do. The first thing I'm going to do is return to that first colour on the fluffy brush. And I want to really gently soften the edge of your dark colour. So we have this gradient of soft colours, a dark moment, and then soft colours. And so I know you don't want to hear this because none of us want to hear it. It's the most annoying piece of information. But if you can keep on top of washing your brushes and they're all clean, that is actually the key to getting a really soft, seamless blend. And the final step, I'm going to use this deepest shade. See these kinds of outer corners here? We're going to just make that initial transition to the lashes as deep as we can. Can you see actually that that one's a bit higher up than this one? I'm trying to work out what to do here, because do I bring this one down, or I think if I round this one off a bit, I like to keep things like this in because this is the kind of thing that we all have happen to us. But like, if anything, that's probably the most important part of this video, isn't it? Okay, this is a bit of wishful thinking, but I think maybe we can see that a lot now that I've pointed it out. I'm really softly blending this, by the way. But I reckon if I was just out and about, no one would notice that, apart from that we're aware of it now. So to be honest, I'm just going to say that's fine and carry on. Because otherwise you'd be there all night making things look even because you've noticed it. You're half an hour late for where you're going. Actually, no one cares. Okay, and now let's go in with a little bit of the Miss Mercury highlighter. It's a lovely kind of buttery rose golden colour. And I'm just taking that very softly through that brow bone as well. And you know, another thing I will tell you, if you see this outer part of your liner, if you ever look at that and it's, you know, the blend for whatever reason hasn't worked and you're thinking, well, what am I going to do with this? If you put some highlighter over it, it reflects the light and it just makes it a lot less noticeable. Okay, I'm going to try the liquid liner now and I'll do a voiceover so that I can actually just concentrate on doing the liner. One thing that's really stuck out to me about this liner is that it is jet black. It's definitely the blackest liner that I've used. I want you to pay attention in the meantime to how I'm putting this on. I think it's really good to look down into a mirror because that naturally kind of pulls your lid a little bit tighter to give you a more seamless line. And then I'm doing it bit by bit, working my way from the inner corners out, lots of little strides until I'm happy with the shape. Okay, this is another example of the liner flicks aren't like 100% even, but I'm not going to worry about it. They're good enough. That is a jet black liner. I actually thought it when it was on the back of my hand, but it's a really lovely glossy black. Usually to get that much pigment, you'd have to do 2 coats. I'm really, really impressed with that. And it wouldn't be an Ariana Grande look without some lashes. So I'm going to use the Dream lashes. A really big tip I would give you, let me just show you. I'll take these out of the box. For a lot of people, I think when they try lashes for the first time, they feel like they're too big or that they're pulling their eyes down because they're very long. So that is a really long lash. Just for argument's sake, obviously that's not stuck on. See those extra hairs? They're going to pull the shape of the eye down. So what you want to do is trim them so that they end at the outer corner of your eye and those lashes are going to flick upwards and lift your eye. Can I just say that's a really lovely lash design. You've got the softer inner lashes and then the fuller outer lashes. I'm going to take some lashes off the outer corner here. Without a doubt, the very best lash glue is the Doll Beauty glue. Apply this to the band of your lashes and let it go tacky for 30 seconds. You want it to be sticky and until it goes tacky, it's going to be runny and slip and slide around the place. Oh, I beg your pardon, I've got no mascara on. I'm going to quickly do my mascara. I have to say, when I opened this morning, the wand is completely different than anything I've ever seen. It's really unique. I need to put my mascara on. I'll be back. There's a couple of reasons why I like to do the mascara first. First of all, once they've dried, your lashes, I don't want to then dislodge them by putting mascara on top. And also, I'm a big reuser. You know, if you're clean and you pick the glue off and all the rest of it, you'll get a load of uses out of those if you don't put mascara on top of them. So it just helps you to get the best and longest results from your makeup. They were so easy to apply. And now, if you can see, because the band of those lashes is like a clear plastic, it's left a line, kind of a trace. So once that glue is dried, I'm going to go back over it with the liquid liner so that the whole thing is really seamless. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed. I really loved actually trying all of those R.E.M things. The colours are all lovely and I'll see how they wear. To be honest, the front runner for me is that liquid liner. It's so jet black. Even now that I've done my second layer, that shine that is coming off it is literally like a glossiness. It's so jet black. I think it's lovely. But I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know anything else in particular you'd like to see a video on. I had lots of great suggestions yesterday, so I've written all of those down and I'll work through them. But have a lovely rest of your day and I'll talk to you soon.